Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to set up audio on my Monkey See Monkey Do Linux distribution, which is a customly built Linux distribution that we've been covering on how to build one absolutely from scratch within this YouTube tutorial series this video is part of. So today we're going to set up ALSA, PULSEAUDIO, and optionally we can also set up DBUS to make sure that PULSEAUDIO can connect to the system bus. So first thing first, and without further ado, let's get started by installing the ALSA. So ALSA stands for Advanced Linux Sound Architecture, and first I want to say DiPi, which is the Distro independent package installer, which I've written on my own, and this is the part of the Monkey See Monkey Do Linux, but you can essentially use it on whatever distribution. And again, all the steps I'm using here, in theory, should also be applicable to other distributions as well. I hope I'll be able to make myself clear. Well, let's just go for it. So I say DiPi and I say ALSA, and it installs the ALSA package and all of the dependencies. And apart from ALSA, I also want to say DiPi and ALSA config, so that I had things like test sounds being installed and also the ALSA mixer as well. So next thing I want to do, I want actually to activate the sound card. But to know what sound card to activate, I need to say a play and -L, and this lists all the cards I have. So I'm interested in this one, the card 2, HDA Intel PCH, and the device 0. This one, the one I'm interested in. And to make it sort of active, I need to say ALSA CTL and then init and card 2. And also, so like this has been initialized. This is cool. So eventually one day, to make it like persistent change, I would need to do the following. So if I say VICI and add a profile, so this is where I'm doing things. So now it's commented out, but later on, just to make things persistent, I can say ALSA CTL init and the card number 2 under my ads profile. And then I will do the same for the PULSEAUDIO, but we don't yet have the PULSEAUDIO. So yeah, that's sort of thing to bear in mind. I probably also will need to add DBUS if used here as well. So yeah, for now, we're not interested in this. So now to hear some sound, what we need to do is the following. So I need to say VICI, which is the text status. I want to create the file in the home directory. So this is the home Monkey See Monkey Do user. So we are here now. So here I just want to create the file called asound.rc. So I need to specify two, well, let's say rules. So the first one is for the PCM. So I can say PCM dot exclamation mark default. And here I want to specify the type HW hardware. Then we have the card number 2, device 0. Remember, the first device 0 is the one we need. Other devices are just the HDMI devices, which we don't quite need. And let's specify channels equal to 2. Right, and also I can do the same for the controls. So if I do from 1 to 6, copy after line 6. So here I say CTL default, and the same settings for the control, so that when I change the sound using the ALSA mixer, changes will get applied here. Okay, now if I did everything properly, I should be able to play some sound. So I have the download folder, I've already downloaded the test sound file called freetestdata.wav. So let's try to play it using the A sound, using the A play. So A play, and I'm playing downloads free test data. Okay, and we hear the sound, which is good. So now what we can also do, so if I say ALSA mixer and I want the card number 2, so here let's say I set up the volume to the maximum possible and try run again. Okay, so it's clearly saying that now it plays like louder, which is exactly the case. This is cool. Okay, so we are done with ALSA, but Pulse Audio is not yet set up, which means that unfortunately in applications like say Firefox, for instance, I don't know which one do I need. Yeah, probably can close this one. So if I just open my Firefox web browser here and try to play some sound, unfortunately this is not going to work. I just opened two Firefoxes. No, don't need to. So we'll now go to my YouTube channel and try to play some VICI. Okay, so all right, yeah, internet connection is not the best ever, but come on, come on. Okay, so go into my channel. All right. Okay. And here we go. So, it should be played automatically. We can hear no sound because Pulse Audio is not yet being set up here. So this is a bit unfortunate. So there are two ways, I would say two approaches to deal with Pulse Audio. So there is the simple approach and a more complicated one. But the simple approach is already like yet enough to make Firefox produce some sound during playing videos on YouTube. The complications are related to using the DBUS, the system bus, to communicate, to interact between different applications within the system, which we will also have a look at. But for now, let's stick to the very simple way to deal with Pulse Audio, and let's actually install one. So I'm going back to my terminal, and I just say dipy. I don't need to say install, just Pulse Audio, Pulse Audio. All right. And it downloads all the required packages. Okay. Yeah, it has a bit more dependencies as opposed to ALSA, but yeah, anyway. So okay. Yeah, great. So if we just try to run Pulse Audio right out of the box, this is not going to work. I say -v for verbose output. So it says like no modules has been loaded, hence nothing to do. So we need to provide some basic configuration to Pulse Audio as well. So the configuration for Pulse Audio is going to live at the config folder. It could have actually created the config folder. Yeah, it has already created the config folder. It wasn't there yet. So let me see. ls config and Pulse. Yeah, also the Pulse folder. So he has created the config and Pulse folder. But yeah, just to make things absolutely from scratch, I would just say sudo remove recursively forcingly config. Yeah. So now I say mkdir make directory -p, create the parent directory. Want to create the config and Pulse. Okay. And I want to say sudo cp, and I'm copying the files from user local share Pulse Audio files. And first file we need is a daemon.conf. We are copying this to config and then Pulse, and it just goes there. And then we need to copy the default .pa, which is the configuration file we're supposed to be dealing with. So now if I list the config and the Pulse, that we have these two files we're interested in. So if I do sudo VICI and config Pulse and default PA, going to the very beginning here. So By default, this is going to automatically detect drivers using the UDAP detect module, or alternatively just using the module detect module for the static hardware detection. But well, this never works for me, so I prefer to do things in a manual way. So just get rid of these lines. I don't quite need. Oh, sorry, I don't quite need those. I want to say load module ALSA sync to use ALSA as the default sync. Sync is the output device to use to play the sound. This is the most simple and straightforward way to configure things. And the ALSA source module would be pointing to, you remember we have been setting up the card 2 and the device 0, the hardware. So here we also say card 2, device 0, right? Now we can also get rid of those modules we don't quite need, like Bluetooth things. I don't have Bluetooth hardware, so just get rid of this to avoid having some nasty errors. Server protocols, well, this may be left there. Module settings, yes, we don't need this one as well. And the rest, yeah, console and systemd also not needed. Yeah, and the rest should probably be just fine. So just write and quit. So we don't yet have the system bus, but if I just do the pulse audio -v again, then probably storing volume mute. Yeah, device suspended. Yeah, so now I should actually play some sound. Let's give it a try. Of the program okay. Videos I'm making. So when I do all this, so Silicon just plays the sound, and the log shows us that everything here is working as expected. I can try to adjust the sound. Okay. And then just navigating through the file. And meanwhile, I can write some code, I can do something, but you see, my reflection is for some reason I don't see. Okay, let me just do ALSA mix minus card 2. This is the mouse. I never show the mouse, but he's available. Okay, so just adjusted the sound. For real, many people are thinking. Okay, so this is what I can do here. Okay, so which proves that indeed we have PulseAudio being up and running. So one last thing to do, which I personally don't quite see any reason to do, but yeah, we can still sort of try this, is to set up the DBUS. So I just quit from here, and we no longer need any sources of sounds, to be very honest. So just clear the screen and just make it full screen. Clear, and again I just run the PulseAudio -b, -v. Okay, so two major issues. So you failed to connect to system bus because it's not simply available. And the same here actually. So yeah, now let's get down with this as well. So here I just say Control-C to stop things. Again, just a quick look. So if I do VICI ads and the profile, so this is the configuration to deal with the system bus as well, but just bear PulseAudio -- or -- start here would be already enough to make it play within the Firefox. So this are just the environmental variables being stored within the session that do regard to the system bus. We don't quite need this for now. Okay, so DBUS. You may or may not have DBUS being installed, but I just start things from scratch. So I install the DBUS here. And here we have the following. So if I go to user local share and DBUS, and here we have the systemconf. So if I do sudo VICI system.conf, and here I have the user being equal to tc, which is the legacy from TinyCore Linux. So I don't have that user, so I change this to monkey see, monkey do, right? Quit. And then also, I somewhere should have, it's probably not here. So let's try to cd to user local at dbus and have a look what we got here. Yeah, so here I do go to systemd. It's not the real systemd, just the place to put things. Here we need to alter the pulse audio system conf to make it possible for a pulse audio to connect to the system bus. If I do sudo VICI and the pulse audio system conf, so here, well, usually the proper way of doing things is having the separate user called pulse to be the part of the audio group, but all those are like complications I hate really a lot, so I just make it the monkey see monkey do user for a pulse as well, and that should be fairly enough. Okay, now let's go back to the home directory. So now if I do user local, well, let's basically start with the dbus launch shell syntax. Yeah, it does provide the variables, which is cool, but we also need to make sure that we run the actual system bus. So to do this, I can say user local at init dbus and status. So we have dbus is not running. So if I say start and then status again, now dbus is running, which is fantastically good. So if we don't specify those permissions, those users, this is just not going to work. And when you just do this dbus start, it would not tell that dbus is running. The way how it actually figures out whether it's running or not. So this dbus is just a shell script. So if I just do have a look, so start essentially creates a directory under the var lib dbus, creates the UUID for the devices, makes all sort of preparations. It also creates the just starts the dbus daemon as the system bus. So just want to give you an idea. So if we list the var run dbus, we have two essential files. The PID is the PID of the dbus, and the system bus socket is where the application like PulseAudio is going to listen to, right? Yeah, by the way, I also forgot, so let me have a look at dev. It says, yeah, so we also need the dev SHM for PulseAudio to interact with other applications. So SHM stands for shared memory. So if you don't have this, just create the great one using the mk dev SHM if you want. It's already there, so you cannot create this really. So that should also be there. Okay, so now let's clear, and now let's try to run the pulse audio again, and -v, and now you see like all the failures has been vanished, right? So we don't have any errors because it has been it did connect to the system bus, which is cool. And just to make sure one last time that we didn't kind of break anything, I just want to run the sound again. Yeah, and by the way, we can run multiple sounds with PulseAudio, which is cool. Not now. Let's go in here. By the time it's loading, I may want to. There is another cute way to test PulseAudio using the PACMD command, which is cool. Yeah, but for now, I just want to make sure that. Okay, just do PAC. Okay, maybe just don't want it to play. Yeah, my channel, please. My channel. Yes. Okay, so it should play by now. Hello everyone. So many. Okay, it does play. So I just make it not as loud, like this. I'm sorry for you hearing two code monkey kings now. Yeah, it's a bit too much, but anyway. So now I just do the PACMD. I want to play. It's called play file. I don't remember. A play file. Yes. I say play file. So I have one stream there. Now I say play file, and I specify home, monkey see, monkey do, downloads, and my free test data. And I also need to specify the sync. I forgot the sync. So PACMD list syncs. And the sync I'm interested in is called ALSA output default. So ALSA output default. And you see that we have an absolutely separated process with the custom volume playing like at the same time along with the other audio stream. So that's the idea behind having this like DBUS stuff being set up to make sure that like different applications may use sound like with different settings. So that's the core idea. Now probably one last thing to mention here is just let me clear the screen. So to make sure that everything works here, if I do ls -l to dev s and d, so these are my sound devices. So they all are being set up, the root user and the monkey see, monkey do group. So if I this has been done by the udev, and in particular by the udev rule that is specific to the setting up audio. If I'm not mistaken, where is that? If I just do VICI at is this it's I guess udev rules, yeah, and persistent ALSA 60 persistent ALSA rules. Yeah, so this file is apparently responsible. This is not the file where the user is set. Yeah, but anyway, so this like it makes the symlink like by path, which is also the case for dev S&D. So this by path, this link is created by the udev. So yeah, just want to make sure that we have the proper permissions that look like this, because otherwise it's not going to work. Okay. What else? Well, essentially, this is sort of it. Yeah, one last thing to make changes persistent. So something I forgot to add to the profile. So sometimes people are using the XD folder under the home directory, which stands for xdaemons, if I'm not mistaken. I don't quite like that because, well, I don't think that PulseAudio is just related to the GUI, because I really want to have the PulseAudio being available even if I switch the GUI off. So the preferred way for me to do things is the following. So I just do sudo VICI as the system profile. So here I want to make sure that I do initialize the ALSA every time we boot. And yeah, I do specify the credentials for the current DBUS session to the PulseAudio before it starts. And another important thing, I need to do the user local at init dbus and start to actually start the particular system dbus daemon, the system-wide dbus daemon. So this is the idea. And with this lines, if I just reboot everything, it's just right quit, and then like say I reboot the computer, and if I just try to open my Firefox browser and try to play the sound, it would be there already. So it would be playing sound just out of the box. Okay, guys, so this is it from my side. I'm no longer taking your time. Hope you've enjoyed the video, find it useful, and hopefully now it's a bit more clear, like how sound actually works onto the Linux system. So yeah, see you later and cheers.